Pigs do not lose appetite. And if you've been seeing the videos and the pigs, you see that they are always eating aggressively, feeding aggressively. Close to 5 years in pig farming, I've never encountered a situation where I will supply a feed and my pig will refuse to eat it. So the only moment you know that your pig has lost appetite is if the feed is not nutritious enough and it has been monotonous all the time, the same feed, like just feeding a single ingredient like corn alone to your pig, corn alone constantly, the pig will get tired of it. But if you mix corn, wheat bran and with other ingredients, the pig will always find it suitable to eat, and that's what you need to be doing. So for saying pigs lose appetite sometimes, no, like pigs lose appetite most of the time. It doesn't happen that way. So for me, I don't even really use too much of multivitamins on my pigs, but they're doing well, they're eating all right, everything, aggressively feeding, as you can just see them in the video here. Anytime I drop the feed, before I return, the feed is finished, consumed like that. And if I even allow them to keep eating all day, that is the pigs I have on my farm here, no loss of appetite. The only moment they lose appetite is when she comes on heat and I don't do the needful by taking her to the bowl for mountain. Usually that she will not even eat. They refuse to eat the feed, and I'll get to know that yes, this lady here is ready for the guy, and I introduce them. They do it. After that, she comes back, she starts eating aggressively and happily. And also when they're about to farrow, like the pregnancy days too, some of them do slow down with the feed. They don't really eat too much. But in my case, especially with the sow I used for the experiment on inbreeding, she ate aggressively. Like you can't even notice that her time was up. Unless you don't put the food there, she'll consume it. That's it. She'll eat the very hour she's about to give it, she will still go and eat before she does the following. So for your pigs losing appetite, usually it's not about giving too much multivitamins. It's about the condition. If the place is not sanitary enough, you see muddy, the pig is not feeling comfortable, cold everywhere like that, and maybe flies flying over the feed. You understand it? Yeah, so if it happens that way, definitely they will lose appetite for the food. And if you have also been giving single ingredients, I've gone to some farms where the farmer was always supplying only rice bran. They pick the rice bran, drop it in a bowl, and that is a feed for the pig. It will eat small, leave the rest. And then some to even give only maize, corn. They grind it and then they drop it in the bowl. Nothing is mixed, no salt, nothing, and keep giving that one to the pigs. And also some also go to the extent of feeding only cassava to pigs, cassava peels. They give cassava morning, cassava afternoon, cassava evening. And some to even resort to giving grasses, knowing very well that pigs are not good and too much grass is not good for them. But some go to the extent of giving only grasses to the pigs, either water leaves or cassava leaves, pawpaw leaves. Okay, but you need to keep balancing these things. If you are formulating the feed, make sure it is well formulated and give it to your animals. Like I made in one of my videos where I shared with you me being able to gain 112 kilos of pig weight in just 7 months. It is all due to good feeding. And you compare that to other farms too, you see that you are doing much better, and I'm always happy for what I'm doing. But when I come to a farm and see that you're not doing the right thing, usually I do also share my knowledge with you. Something is too expensive for them to buy all those ingredients and do those treatments, but it is worth it if you do it well. Usually, why I'm happy with attaining 112 kg in 7 months instead of 6 months is that I was able to reduce my cost even doing the 7 months. The cost was relatively very cheap for me, and I did the 7 months of raising. So usually I target 7 months before I release my pigs for sale. I target 7 months, especially those I'll be slaughtering. I always target 7 months. For the 6 months, it's not my thing. So what I do is I usually wean my piglets when they are about 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So if I see that maybe the sow, I don't need to cross the sow this year, or I don't need to rush to cross the sow again. With that, I don't even rush myself to wean the piglets. I can let them stay with the mother for 8 weeks, which is 2 months. But it's not always good, because if they're staying too much with the sow and the sow is not being fed well, she'll be losing weight. But if I want the piglet to stay with the sow for too long, what I do is I feed her well. Her feed is always special so that the piglet will suckle and get it from her. Usually I'll combine the creep feed and then the lactating sow feed. I'll combine them. I strike a balance between them and supply to all the pigs. And I supply to the sow and her piglet. So they'll all be eating it at the same time. The piglet will be taking part of the feed while the mother too is taking it. So they'll all eat together hand in hand. And sometimes I go there to see them that they want to outsmart the mother in terms of eating, and then you see the mother chasing them, bite them before they even stop the feed. That's what we do in pig farming. I always ensure that I strike a balance. That's why if I've been following along in my videos, I don't usually talk about starter feed, click feed, no. But I make sure I combine that with the lactating sow feed and strike a balance between them. It is not entirely for gestating mother, it's not also entirely for the piglet, so that they will both benefit in one way or the other. But once I separate them, that is where I speed up with the winner feed, and then the piglets should do well after about 4 months. I'll see them growing very healthy, and also add another extra month, making them gain the weight needed. And then people come there, they're happy to pay for it. Pigs do not lose appetite unless maybe the environment is not conducive enough and it has tracked or brought about infection in the pen and in the pigs. So, once they're also not healthy, the feeding will be slowed in one way or the other. You need to ensure that you always balance your feed. Don't feed corn alone, and don't also feed grasses alone to your animals. Make sure you always balance them with other ingredients on the market. It's expensive, but if you get all the ingredients on the market and you bring them together, you realize that your effort is worth it and the expenses you put into your pigs is paying off.